Federations Cup as they lost 1-2 to Jeunesse Kabylie of Algeria in Cameroon today and must win the return leg semi-final game in Algeria on the 27th. Cameroon and international community today observed World Refugee Day to salute the courage of refugees around the world and highlight the assistance from the Cameroon government and partners to over 450,000 refugees in Cameroon. Plus, the National Bilingualism Commission takes the fight to stop hate speech and xenophobia around the 10 regions and come up with resolutions that will stamp out the ill. Sunday the 20th of June 2021. Good evening and welcome to Studio 5. I am Benin Bumagana. This is the 7:30 News.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Today, the world is observing World Refugee Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to celebrate the strength and courage of a people who have been forced to flee their home country due to conflict and persecution. According to the UNHCR, there are over 450,000 refugees in Cameroon who are enjoying the legendary hospitality of the host country and are receiving donations from President Paul Biya, says Ebenezer Akanga.
Since the outbreak of the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria and political turmoil in the Central African Republic, Cameroon has received an influx of refugees from the two countries. According to UNHCR, there are 450,000 Nigerian and Central African refugees in Cameroon. They are not only enjoying the legendary hospitality of Cameroon, but they are also receiving special attention from President Paul Biya, who is very sensitive to their plight. To alleviate their sufferings, the head of state has been assisting the refugees with food and non-food items.
This is really showing that the government is taking its role with seriousness. We say thank you to the government for the accompaniment that they have given to us.
Refugees who decide to willfully return to their countries do so within the framework of tripartite agreements between the UNHCR, the governments of Cameroon, and the country concerned.
President Paul Biya has instructed us to insist on the voluntary nature of the departure. All those who are going home have willfully accepted to go back to Nigeria, to go back to Borno State, because from every indication, things have come back to normalcy.
Even as the refugees return, President Paul Biya still provides them assistance to enable them start life back home.
We are so much overwhelmed by the huge donation that we receive from the government of Cameroon, specifically from President Paul Biya and his beloved wife.
In fact, Cameroon is considered as a reference in the management of refugees.
Today, in Africa, President Paul Biya is a reference, an international reference in terms of humanitarian assistance, not only to refugees, but also to internally displaced persons.
Cameroon's policy on refugees translates the notion of solidarity, which President Biya upholds.
The World Refugee Day in Cameroon under the theme Together We Heal, Learn and Shine is an opportunity to revisit what the United Nations High Commission for Refugees and government have done to improve the lives of refugees in the country. Rita Makang tells us.
They fled violence to seek refuge in Cameroon, reconstruct their lives, protect future generations with the hope to return to their homeland. This is the journey of the over 450,000 refugees in Cameroon, traced in this photo exhibition.
Refugees, when they cross the border, they need to eat, they need to go to school, We are working with UNICEF. We just signed, for instance, a partnership agreement with UN Women to allow refugee women and displaced women to have access to employment training, vocational training in some places in Cameroon.
Cameroon this June 20 honors refugees on the theme, Together we heal, learn and shine.
It's a theme of solidarity. It's a theme of inclusion.
In a context marked by the COVID-19 pandemic, life in the refugee camps has been made easy thanks to the UNHCR.
We built isolation center. We have extended 2 hospitals with rooms for the patients. Refugees also contributed because they made soap and masks that we distributed to Cameroonian and refugees. We provided ambulances. So this was the sanitary response that we provided together with the government.
The Refugee Day celebration is also online with a live concert offered by Magasco on the organization's Facebook page.
It's really with a lot of pleasure, adding my voice to inform the rest of the world about what is going on.
By this, UNHCR and the government of Cameroon show their commitment to improve on the livelihoods of refugees.
The refugee status turning out to be a blessing in disguise for the over 24,000 school-going refugee children hosted in the far north region of the country. The educational support from both the government of Cameroon and partners are whipping up their enthusiasm to attend school. Ayuk John Ashu with details from the far north.
The far north region counts some 24,000 refugee children of school age in Dogon and Shari, Mayo Sava and Mayo Chanaga divisions as a result of security challenges in a neighboring country. In government's global vision of promoting education in the region considered as an education priority zone, adequate infrastructures have been put in place both in refugee camps and in host communities.
Some of them even went to the university, even abroad. Most of them speaking English and French, and they are singing our national anthem.
School attending refugees receive special humanitarian assistance from the government and her partners like Plan International Cameroon.
We thank God for the government of Cameroon. I studied the HND level, and my third year I studied degree level, human resource management.
Such incentives, including education-related welfare services, have enabled an increase in the school enrollment of refugee children.
We are doing the finishing touches that will help the children to write the first school leaving certificate. They are having that enthusiasm of learning.
We are learning for how to speak English, mathematics, and we are preparing for our first school leaving certificate. Our teacher teaches us every day about environmental education, health education, and so on.
Away from formal education, the government has also made provisions for over-age refugee children to undergo vocational training free of charge.
Government stakeholders in the Northwest region have suggested that government should effectively construct the deplorable road infrastructure in the region in a move to stamp out disgruntlement and hate speech resulted in the violent twist of the ongoing social-political standoff. The 3-day campaign against hate speech and xenophobia was organized by the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism. Mabel McKendy Sakem, and from the West, we get the report.
The discussion is on, and most of the participants at this campaign in Bamenda insist that many in the Northwest region lack the sense of belonging and are frustrated.
We are greedy and we incite hate speech when there is a problem and we stand up to say there is no problem.
Those who are promoting hate speech are those who are suffering from unemployment, poverty.
This campaign against hate speech in the Northwest is not the first move to stamp out the phenomenon, but critics opine that such actions will continue to be futile if the plight of the people are not addressed. Members of the Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism on mission are collecting solutions, including the restructuring of the educational system.
The 3-day campaign was attended by heads of political parties plus representatives of civil society and non-governmental organizations, youth and women's associations in the West region. Discussions focused on the collection of contributions on the causes and the solutions, as well as findings on hate speech and xenophobia in Cameroon. The members of the commission, Pierre Vincent Gambo-Foju and Jean-Marc Afesimbafu, presented the vices of hate speech and xenophobia and appealed to the population of the West to fully join the campaign for Cameroonians to live together in peace and solidarity as children of the same fatherland.
Over in the southwest region and in the east region, the virtues of love, tolerance, and respect for cultural diversity are some of the measure resolutions taken by key actors in the condition in the Association to Fight Hate Speech and Xenophobia in the southwest and east region. Let's get details in this paper.
The existence of insults, violence, frustration, discriminations, and prejudices are some of the manifestations of xenophobia practiced in some communities in the southwest.
The purpose of this campaign is for the head of state to re-emphasize and to send across his message of unity and peace and of our living together in this country.
We have to train our people not to categorize people right from the beginning.
With the strides made so far to combat this social ill, actors in the field will continue to work in ensuring peace and unity in diversity in the southwest region.
In order to ensure adequate measures are used to fight this problem, which is an enemy to national unity, the Vice President of the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism met with civil society organizations, NGOs, and youth groups, amongst others, to highlight the importance of the campaign.
Our commission has taken this decision to come all the regions just to fight this hate speech and this xenophobia.
We're going to work with our medias. We're going to encourage them to promote patriotism, to promote the love of each other.
The Vice President of the Commission explained that the new national communication campaign against hate speech and xenophobia in Cameroon was launched on the 25th of March 2021. He went ahead to call on stakeholders to form a coalition with his commission and fight these social ills.
The Pan-African Housing Development Bank, Shell Afrique, will hold its 40th Annual General Assembly in Cameroon from tomorrow, June 21 to June 26, 2021. Ahead of the event, almost all the finance and housing ministers from 43 countries of Shell Afrique are already in Yaoundé. Ewalene Epole was at the Simalen International Airport this Sunday when the last delegation arrived in the country. His report.
Housing ministers from Zimbabwe, Kenya, Ghana, and Togo arrived at Yaoundé Simalen International Airport this Sunday to join other ministers of the 43 member countries of Shelter Afrique, meeting in Yaoundé for the 40th Annual General Assembly.
We are coming together to look for solutions on how we can resolve the issues to do with the delivery of low-cost housing. So we are looking at 40 decades of housing, where we've come from in terms of housing policy, looking at its effectiveness, looking at its delivery and impact, and we are going now and saying we want to achieve what is going to be called the Yaoundé Declaration, where all African governments will now commit, put their heads together to come up with pragmatic solutions on how they are going to resolve the problem that 56 million units is a shortage of housing in Africa, which has 1.2 billion population.
According to Cameroon's Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Kecha-Kotes, government has taken measures to host the event, which begins from Monday, 20th to the 26th of June 2021. The Shelter Afrique Forum will be holding under the theme 4 decades of affordable housing policies in Africa, mapping the next 40 years.
News of the 106 billion francs loan from the African Development Bank to Cameroon to tar the ring road in the northwest region has been received with gladness. CRTV's Joyce Lepti-Fowaju says the greatest challenge now is to contain the insecurity situation in the northwest region. Joyce Lepti.
Located in the northwest region of Cameroon, the ring road has the shape of a ring, of which Bamenda is the starting and the arrival point after crossing 5 of the 7 divisions of the region. Completing the project that cost 106 billion CFA francs, financed by the African Development Bank, the bank had already financed the road built between Bamenda and Enugu in Nigeria. The bank knows that for it to be a real instrument of accelerating integration in the region, it will be useful if it's connected to other tracks, that is the ring road. For the government, it will be the keeping of a promise made to the population of the Northwest region by the President of the Republic, leading to the opening up of possibilities for the population to take more advantage of the rich agricultural, pastoral and tourist potential of the region. Incidentally, related to works similar to those carried out on the ring road is that of the Bachenga, Ntui, Yoko Lena, Tibati Ridge, which will also improve the quality of life of the population. To move from dream to reality and complete the ring road, the problem of insecurity in the region must be lifted. During his visit to Parliament last November, the Minister of Public Works confirmed the stoppage of construction work on the ring road due to insecurity. Between the end of 2020 and the signing of this loan agreement, has the situation changed? It is possible since the works of the first lot, Kumbung Kambe Messager, of approximately 88 kilometers long, are being awarded.
Now, news of the Africa Development Bank's loan to Cameroon to the tune of 106 billion CFA francs for the construction of the ring road has been applauded by many in the northwest region who see the loan deal as a glimmer of light in the present circumstances. Winston Lebga discussed the matter with a few concerned persons whose opinion are edited in the following report. Winston Lebga.
Been a long wait for this ring road project that was announced in the mid-1980s. And now hopes have been rekindled.
A place like we, they produce plantains in large quantities, but to transport it to the regional headquarters Bamenda is a nightmare. So I think with the coming of the ring road, let's just hope that this time around it's going to be a reality.
As an artist, it's going to allow us move freely and in time in order to perform our concerts.
In Bamenda, there are many people who say this is like the poor who cried wolf.
It's our duty to support this project because it will be for our own benefit, not somebody else. It's the benefit of the Northwest.
We don't expect the head of state to come here and construct the road for us. He has promised us and he has realized us with the budget. We have to thank him very much.
The people are now waiting in breathless anticipation for this ring road project, for which the African Development Bank has agreed to a loan deal of 106 billion francs CFA to come to fruition.
Now, one person is reported dead and 54 others have sustained injuries in a bus accident along the Chang Cliff, known in French as La Falaise de Chang. The accident occurred Saturday and most of the persons injured are receiving treatment at the Chang District Hospital. Ngu Henry tells us the story from Chang.
The incident occurred Saturday afternoon at the Chang Cliff in the Mainwa division. A 70-seater bus belonging to the General Voyage Travel Agency lost control and fell at the cliff.
70-seater bus was going down the hill and it lost brakes. And so in the attempt to master the vehicle, there was a somersaulted. And then we had an accident that has been so much talked about. I can say we deplore one dead, but many who were seriously injured and they have been taken care of in the hospital.
One person died on the spot, while the 54 injured cases were rushed to the Chang District Hospital.
We receive our 54 persons here, and then we have one death. And then now we refer two at by regional hospital because they had trauma on their head. For those who are here now, there's no more major problem. But we think that we can say about 8 persons have a fracture. And we are taking care free of charge for the moment because the insurance will come and help us to pay the bill.
Some 66 persons have lost their lives in 4 separate accidents at the cliff within 6 months.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Let's now hook up with Gilbert Ongene, who is at the Public Health Emergency Operations Center. Gilbert, you and your guest, Dr. Eric Tandy, are focusing on some rumors that arrive, especially on the social media, on the negative effects of COVID-19 vaccines. So, tell us, Gilbert.
Hello, Benen Buma Ghana. Welcome to the Public Health Emergency Operations Center. We are here with our guest, Dr. Eric Tandy, who is a public health expert, and we are talking about the rumors surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine that is rife on social media. Good evening, Dr. Eric Tandy.
Good evening, Gilbert.
Now, what is your take on these rumors that are on the social media about the vaccine against the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, Gilbert, you know, it's but normal for people to have diverse information and view with regard to anything that comes within epidemics or pandemic, especially with that of COVID, where we've had a lot of controversies regarding the side effects that have been noticed from the vaccination. But let me tell you, each of the vaccines have specification and specific side effects that have been earmarked. And some of these side effects from fever, from cough, and these are normal things that last within a few hours or maximum 2 days. And these side effects gradually diminishes with time. These are things that are even normal. You will agree with me that anything we take or consume within our society, there are certain side effects, and these things are very clear. When it comes to COVID-19 vaccination, there is no need to bother about side effects because there is a full system that has been put in place that manages it, and these side effects are negligible.
So what you are saying is that these side effects are not nefarious to the health of the individual who takes the vaccine in the long term or short term?
Definitely, Gilbert, to tell you, more than 60,000 Cameroonians have been vaccinated, and we've not had any major side effects that have been reported. And to tell you, all those who are vaccinated are there, and they owe testimony to this.
Well, Benen Buma Ghana, viewers of CRTV, you got it all from the horse's mouth. The side effects are there, but they are not nefarious to the health of the person who takes the COVID-19 jab. Over to you, studio.
Thank you very much, Gilbert Ongene Anya. The mortal remains of Mama Abonta Mengolo Christine, auntie to the First Lady of the Republic, Madame Chantal Biya, have been laid to rest in her village in Nangai Boko. The daughter of Mama Abonta and cousin of the First Lady, Baoben Monique Floret, who died a few weeks before her mother was buried beside the mom. The Requiem Mass was said by the Bishop of Obala, His Lordship, Sustain Leopold Bayemi, in the presence of the Minister of State, Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Gongo, and other government ministers. Unity Palace correspondent Amin King Edward with the dirge.
The two caskets laid side by side at the family residence in Nangai Boko. Moments of profound grief and lamentation. That was the gloomy atmosphere as the mortal remains of Mama Abotan Mengolo Christine, the maternal aunt of the First Lady, Madame Chantal Biya, were lowered into the grave, alongside the remains of her daughter, Nanga Boban Monique Floret, who also passed away a couple of weeks before her mother after a brief illness in Yaoundé. To pay homage to the two departed members of the presidential family, a series of traditional rites were performed as pre-burial formality in recognition of their contribution to the development of their community and to their family. This was before a requiem mass attended by a cream of highly esteemed state personalities, amongst them were the Minister of State, Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Ngongo, some members of government, the Deputy Director of the Civil Cabinet at the Presidency, Oswald Baboke, the Chief of State Protocols, Pierre Bikele, the Central Regional Governor, Nasiri Paul Biya, and members of the Circle of Friends of Cameroon, Sirag. In a soul-searching sermon, the Bishop of Obala, His Lordship Sosten Lupo Bayemi, spoke of the certainty of this world that should motivate Christians to look up to God with faith. The bishop also prayed for the peaceful repose of Mama Christine and her daughter, Monique Floret, and made supplications for God to grant the presidential family the consolation they need at this moment of grief. Family members also mounted the pulpit with eulogies and testimonies that summarized the lives of the deceased. A life characterized by love, simplicity, humility, and generosity. From the family residence, the casket and wreath offered by the presidential couple, Paul and Chantal Biya, were conveyed to the family cemetery, where the mourners bid a final farewell to their departed mother and departed daughter for a journey to eternity.
The Cameroon Embassy in France recently hosted a meeting of Cameroonian investors and economic actors from the entire Europe. The club, known as Dias Invest Club, an initiative of a team created in 2017 to unite Cameroonian investors across the diaspora. The club intends to draw members to invest in Cameroon. Alphonse Abongwa Achu reports.
Dias Invest is a global group of Cameroonian diasporan investors, entrepreneurs and economic stakeholders launched at the Cameroonian Embassy in France in 2017. The body believes in the force of all over the force of one to develop the country from a foreign land. 4 years on, this structure has united its members at the same venue to present its latest arm, known as the Dias Invest Club. It is patronized by Cameroon's ambassador to France. The Dias Invest Club comprises businessmen and women investors and key economic stakeholders who want to incite investment back home. Initiatives like the Dias Invest Club come as answers to the Cameroon Investment Forum that seek to present the country as an attractive destination for investment on the African continent. This too is economic patriotism.
And before we go, let's get back to one of our main stories. Coton Sport of Garoua have reduced their chances of qualifying for the final of the CAF Confederations Cup by losing at home to GS Kabylie 1-2. Gilbert Ongene watched the encounter and is here with the highlights. We're surely going to get that paper by Gilbert Ongene where we're saying Coton Sport of Garoua take a difficult road to the final of the CAF Confederations Cup as they lost 1-2 to Jeunesse Kabylie of Algeria in Cameroon today. They must win the return leg semi-final game in Algeria to be able to get to the final, and winning, they must win by 2-0, one thing which looks very difficult. So Gilbert Ongene is here with highlights of the game.
Coton Sport of Garoua had an opportunity to take the upper hand in this away leg match, given their curtain raiser gotten at the 28th minute through this header from Arena after a free kick. Unfortunately for the Garoua side, they dropped their guard and GSK Kabylie caught up with them during additional time of the first half with this equalizer.
The cross into the area, Junior led all along, they've given the ball away.
The Cotton Weavers raised their game at the second half, but most of their onslaughts did not yield fruits up front. GSK Kabyli's second goal is a consequence of this defensive mix-up between keeper Lent Lambert and defender Etame. Final score, Coton 1, GSK 2. The second leg will be played in 2 weeks' time in Algeria.
Thank you very much for following the 7:30 news. At 8:30, Alta Badinoma will be here with the news in French. Tomorrow, the legend Ben Menopofon will be coming back at 7:30. For me, I'm right on. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.